All right, how's it going, Doug?
It's so early. I forgot to plan for a little
Oh yeah, right.
arrival.
An entrance, right?
Yeah, an entrance. There we go. Yeah, this is
Okay,
the plant-based early morning show. How you doing, Matt? Or I
it
guess for
is.
me it is. For
It's
you,
a true
it's
morning show.
for you
Yeah,
it's the afternoon.
for me it is 2:30. Which was kind of our alternative. If we didn't do this morning show now, we would do it at like I think we said 4 o'clock Eastern time, but then it wouldn't
Right.
be a morning show at all. So that would be a little weird. So hopefully this one will actually still work. I see a few people are here, not quite the normal crowd, but that is to be expected with a strange time. And this won't be a normal
The whole
show
health
either.
experience is here. That's
Yes,
good.
glad to see her. We count on her to provide information and uh, you know, I can't call it medical advice, but good nutrition advice. My mom and my wife have made it as well, so that's a good thing. Yeah. So anyway, we're not going to do a totally normal show. We're on a pretty tight schedule today. As often happens with travel, things get mixed up. So my morning was kind of crazy, and it continues to be crazy. So as soon as we finish up here in like 20 or 25 minutes, I am moving on, getting to a soccer training this evening. And anyway, but we're showing up, we're doing it. I have a little bit of cool travel stuff to talk about that is exciting for me. You may have seen, Doug, if you were a careful, close watcher, that I put up a vegan Kit Kat story
I
yesterday.
did from the airport. Didn't even get out of the airport, and you're
No,
already.
I didn't have to. It was that easy. Like we were like, hey, they have vegan Kit Kats here, and so we just went into an airport, regular those little stores that have all the magazines and such, and it was front and center right there next to the real Kit Kats or the regular Kit Kats, I should say, was the Kit Kat with half the label devoted to saying it was vegan. It's a very strange looking label. But I guess, we talked about that before. We're like, why are they doing that? Why don't they just call it plant-based? This is when we first saw that it was happening. And we said, why don't they just call it plant-based and make it like appealing to mainstreamers? But since then, we've learned that Stephen, our European correspondent, informed us that the word vegan is just sort of used. It seems in a lot of different countries, different languages, it's much easier to translate than plant-based. I mean, I think the word for vegan in most of these places is vegano, or here it's just vegan.
Right.
So I think that word is the better one when it comes to lots of different languages being spoken. The other thing is, I think maybe they made half of the bar that or half of the wrapper that, so that it jumps out and you can, because like we walked in and you immediately saw that it was the vegan one. Whereas if you weren't looking for it and you didn't have a big label like that, maybe it wouldn't be so obvious, and you wouldn't even think to look. Cause I don't look in the candy section anymore when I'm shopping, because
Sure.
none of it's ever vegan. So maybe it serves that purpose. Oh, it was awesome. It was a little warm. So you know how Kit Kats, like I always like the refrigerated Kit Kat or any chocolate really,
crispy
for me. Yeah, just nice and So it was not, had the crispy wafers, but the chocolate got on our fingers and all that. But honestly, to me, it was identical. I know there's no difference between that and the Kit Kats of my childhood. So that was exciting. I was a little disappointed. Like I'm just not. We talk about this. Neither of us is really a big sweet tooth person. So that's, for me, it's been, when I did used to eat Kit Kats, I had a sweet tooth and I liked that stuff. Now I'm just like, it's a little overly sweet. I'm just not that into that kind of candy. But my son loved it. Holden loved it. And I'll have some more. I'll put one in the refrigerator and I'll give it another try.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to bring back a whole lot of them. My daughter wants me to bring back like 60.
Yeah. 60, is that what you said?
That's what she said. I don't know if I can get that through customs very easily. That'll look like I'm an importer exporter.
Like, yeah. Then you'll be that guy with a whole bag dedicated to candy.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so I've got some more travel stuff to talk about really quick, or in a minute. But
before we do that, how has on Friday we were talking about you were changing your sleep habits slightly in anticipation of the
yes, very good
jet lag. How did it go?
I did. Did I tell you that I did the melatonin thing that I actually began?
You said you were going to, but
right. I had been wanting to, and then I didn't because I was sleeping so well at home, oddly, that I just didn't want to mess with it. The 2 nights before we left, I started taking melatonin. I never took it early enough. Like the bedtime here would be, 5 p.m. at home. And I never had a chance where I could just do that and then not have to drive anymore that night or anything. So I couldn't do it that early, but I was doing it at like 7, 8 p.m. So I would definitely be drowsy and get to sleep early. My sleeps were disrupted, as I thought would happen. But actually today I feel really great. Like I didn't sleep on the plane much at all, which always happens. I'll start falling asleep on a plane, and then the tiniest turbulence, I will be sure the plane is crashing, and I'll jump out of sleep And I'm just not meant to sleep on planes for sure. I have too much anxiety for that, I think. So anyway, I got a couple hours. Holden slept the whole time basically, so that was nice. Took the melatonin on the plane. But this morning, we got a good long sleep, and I don't know. I feel pretty good. I've been doing also the light thing. This morning, I kept the blinds tightly closed until 9 a.m. when the light exposure is allowed. Yeah. And now I'm in the light hours when I'm supposed to have tons of light, but it's very cloudy here, so it's maybe not ideal. But it's working fine. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted.
All right, please do. Please do.
Yes. All right. Let's talk really quickly about Justin Fields. Then I'll tell you about my more exciting travel food experience. And then we'll get into just a couple quick casual articles that we're doing on this first show of this, couple week period. By the way, I'm only here for another, week and a half that we have some strange shows because we'll be done off for Thanksgiving. So probably the next 7-8 shows will be just strange time and all that. But probably this is the time you can plan on if you're here live. Keep checking it out. Thank you, Ambritz, for joining us. Now you got to go get ready for work. You can always catch up on a podcast. We have a podcast of this show called The Plant-Based Morning Show. But thanks for getting up at 5:45 or whatever to join us, you said. So thank you. All right. The Justin Fields news, Doug, is not so rosy this time.
Not so good.
Right. Mm-mm. So Cam Newton, when he went vegan for a season, at least that's as far as I know, it was a season. He may have stayed that way, but that was the season he suffered a broken foot or shoulder or some kind of injury. That kind of began the end of his career, at least as far as a top level quarterback. He's still playing, I think, but he hasn't been great. And people, of course, blamed that broken bone on the vegan diet, which I guess in just a few weeks' time made his bones lose enough calcium to break. So not good when a vegan quarterback gets injured. But what we have here is Bears quarterback Justin Fields, who we've been following kind of closely on this show. He's been doing some really great things, setting records, all very athletic plays as a quarterback who runs a lot. The problem is when you do that, comes with injury risk, and he injured his left shoulder in the final moments of yet another really close loss by Chicago. I think they've had 3 in a row now that they've lost by just a few points. And in this case, he got hit hard, and then he, on the following play, got hit again, stayed in, I guess, and then eventually was carted off at the very end of the game. So he did his press conference, not in the sling or anything, but he just said it was really painful. So they're a little worried about it. Hopefully, I'm really hoping he's not hurt. I don't care if he doesn't play well because whatever, that happens. But injuries is the media will take that and run with it and say that the diet is to blame, and it's just not good.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely not good. After multiple weeks of record-setting weeks, and being so stoked on his performance, it's too bad that he's been injured here. Hopefully, is that his throwing shoulder? Do you know?
No, it is his non-throwing shoulder, but it apparently because of the balance and stuff that's required, he said it hurts to throw when he uses it.
Okay.
When he throws. Luckily, he doesn't throw that much. He runs all the time. So hopefully it doesn't hurt him to run and he can get back to it.
Well, and then they lost by 3 again. They seem to always lose by like a couple points.
Yeah, it's been in a few weeks in a row where he's had decent performances and especially good performances. It seems like this last week wasn't great. He may have had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown, which is nothing to shake a stick at, but it's not like he was breaking records. So anyway, who knows? We'll keep an eye on it. Andy Murphy on Facebook, Doug, says, according to the founder of veganism, the only requirement was to eat a plant-based diet. The vegan movement got hijacked and politicized later, which is very relevant to the Kit Kat discussion. And
interesting.
I actually don't know if that's I don't know if that's related to anything or if just
it is kind of interesting though. What I wonder who was the founder of veganism.
I think it is known. I believe it is a known person. I don't know the name. They literally took the word vegetarian and removed letters in the middle and were left with veganism. That is, I think, how they named it.
Dr. William Lamb?
I don't know. Sounds right. European guy, right?
1806?
Sounds about right. I would have thought it was... Donald Watson, says Andy.
Oh.
Okay. Well, anyway, a bit beside the point, unless that was related to the Kit Kat question about diet versus plant-based. I'm not sure. Vegan versus plant-based on the label. But anyway, just like to call out the multi-stream comments, let them know that we're listening. I know we focus so much on the Instagram here. All right, so jumping around a bit today, we're disorganized, jet lag, maybe. Back to my trip. So here's what I didn't put a story up yet. I was ready to, and then just things got busy and I just couldn't. I got the vegan, as I promised, on the way home, on the way from the airport to my hotel, which was like an hour and 45-minute drive. I stopped at a Burger King, and got the plant-based long chicken sandwich, which is the one. Why are you laughing so hard? Because
I'm
I
just
actually did it.
laughing because you're. I mean, because the first thing you do in a new country is get a Kit Kat and a Burger
Yeah,
King stop.
I know. Yeah, I was very tired, but I thought this would be the perfect pick me up. So I stopped at Burger
Yep.
King, and they had the plant based long chicken, which is, if you know the Burger King sandwiches from before, if you ever ate those things, anyone listening, it's like the long sub shaped chicken. Well, in European
Uh-huh.
countries, even back when I was, a non-vegetarian, non-vegan, it was called long chicken. It's what I was in. It was called in Madrid. I think it's also called. It wouldn't be Mick Royale. I think it might be a Royale, maybe, in other countries. But here it's a long chicken, and it's that sub-shaped chicken patty, and it was always my favorite thing. It comes with just lettuce, mayonnaise, in this case vegan mayonnaise, and they had that. They had a whole vegan menu. Like, I don't
Wow.
know, they had, all the stuff I read on Thursday or Friday, where it's like the chili cheese thing and the something king that has two patties. So it's just amazing, and like big green menu. It was like a third of the space is dedicated to this green vegetarian thing.
Wow.
I also saw in the airport KFC, where I almost went but then held out. They also had vegan chicken fingers and chicken sandwich and all that. So it's just everywhere. But anyway, I got the long chicken sandwich, and it did not disappoint at all. It was perfect. The taste, like, just totally nailed the original. The original had this sort of peppery flavor that like a McDonald's chicken sandwich never had. It just had these seasonings that I just thought was going to be hard to replicate. I don't know why it wouldn't be hard to replicate. It's just seasonings. But it was perfect. The texture, I will say, was a little bit maybe Gardein like you know how the Gardein
Sure.
fingers are. It's just like not quite the same. Actually, the original I think is like spongier than this was. And so honestly, I think if I had only had this and then they came out with the vegan version that tasted like the old one or had that texture, I'd say, well, this is too spongy to be right. I'm not into this. So it's not any worse. It was just slightly
Yeah.
different texture.
Okay.
But man, it was cool. It was really neat. That will not be the last of those that I have on this trip for sure. Uh,
That's awesome.
yeah, it really was. I'm so excited. I don't know, and it was just a weird feeling. Mainly, we were just sort of struck at the availability, right? I mean, it was fun that we got
Yeah.
to have the sandwich, but more than that, it was like you look up at the menu, and a third of it has a green background, and it's the veggie stuff, uh,
Wow.
and labeled vegan. I
That
don't know. It's really interesting that like that is the norm here.
that is super cool because we I don't know, we talked about Burger King a lot, obviously, over the last since the existence of the show. But one of the things we talked about was maybe Burger King would be one of those that had like half the menu was plant based and half the menu
Right,
wasn't.
right.
And it sounds like that's what they're doing in Germany right now.
Yeah, right. I thought of that as well because we had a discussion like, would they one day go all the way vegan? And we said no, it's kind of crazy. But like literally, I mean, it almost seems like half of the menu or half the store is vegan and half isn't. And it's in Europe. It's in Germany, no less. Right. Someone just asked where I am. I'm in Germany for 2 weeks, and this was near Frankfurt. But it's in all the Burger Kings here. I think in most of Europe, it's the
Wow.
same way. Maybe not all of them, but most of Europe. Um, yeah, it just felt like this is like, I mean, there's something happening. Like half of a major fast food chain's menu appears to be vegan. And I say appears because it's clearly not half. Like if you count the items, there's many more that are not, but it just looks like a lot of it is. So I don't know, just very exciting, interesting. And I'm gonna check out some more stuff. I want to try McDonald's, McPlant, or whatever it's called over here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we'll do too much more fast food, but I don't know. I just want to see this stuff. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially Germany, right? Germany you think of as sausage centric, and just would be the last place to go for this. But I've seen
Totally.
vegan like in several storefronts and things. I've seen the word vegan, like a clothing store or furniture or something, and I can't read any other words in German, so I don't know what they're talking about. But obviously, the word is known, and people use it here to
It's actually saying
yeah,
vegans aren't welcome here, but you
yeah,
just
right. Go home vegan.
Go,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be good. All right, so we did plan a couple light ones. We're gonna be done in like 5 minutes because I gotta move. But
Yeah,
I got one
why
from
don't we
Veg
pick
News.
one of these? Do you want to do pizza or drinks?
Let's do pizza, and we'll talk about drinks tomorrow as we get closer to Thanksgiving. So
Yep,
if you're
perfect.
planning on Thanksgiving cocktails or having Thanksgiving and you need some drink ideas, don't make any major decisions until you listen to tomorrow's show, because then we'll break down Veg News list, or go right to vegnews.com and read the article yourself. But we'll talk about those. So we got this pizza article. Doug, when I think of vegan pizza, you and I shared a Domino's pizza out in a microtel hotel, I think, in Cherokee, North Carolina. We went there for a little casino trip one day.
That's right.
Back in the old days. I think probably
A
before
little
you
late
had
night.
kids, maybe. Right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, the type of impromptu trip that doesn't really happen once you have kids. I mean, I had
Especially
had at least one
4
kid at
kids
that
between.
point. Right. But we went and did that, and we were starving at night, and we got a Domino's pizza with no cheese on it, and I think we told them not to have the sprinkle around the outside edge. But anyway, this is Veg News doing vegan pizza near me. 14 chains that do delivery. So I didn't realize they all do delivery as we were looking at this list. But I guess that's important to me.
I'm guessing that a lot of these probably do like Uber Eats or something.
Yeah, because like
I know
Sbarro
for
doesn't
sure
do
some of these don't do delivery. Yeah.
I mean, somebody go in the mall and get this Sbarro's pizza from the food court and then bring it out to their Uber Eats car?
Maybe. I don't know.
I guess. All right. Well, let's run down the list really quick. We're not going to talk about all 14 because some of them I don't know. Number 1, Blaze Pizza, which I did not realize is a LeBron James backed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but that is one that I think most vegans are aware. Maybe not, but it's kind of a good spot for if you want a little something different one night. You don't want to cook. Stop there after whatever soccer practice or something, and you go get Blaze Pizza. They have the vegan cheese there. They have plant-based chorizo, which I'm always a fan of that topping there. That is a good spicy one. And I guess it says all their crusts are the original, the house-made gluten-free, and the high rise, because you can get that double thick high rise crust if you don't want the thin. And they're all vegan, and it's a good choice for that. And plus, you can pick from like 30 other toppings, and they're all vegetables, so that works pretty well. Have you been to Blaze Pizza much, Doug?
There was one in DC, my neighborhood in DC, that I would go to sometimes, but I have not been to one in years.
Okay. There's one by the mall in Asheville. That's the one we always went
Okay.
to. So you could get that on the way to Black Mountain after you drop your kids off in school or something. Where's your daughter in school in case someone wants to go kidnap or something? What?
I'm not going to tell you that, but not in Asheville.
Okay.
Definitely not going to tell you that.
All right. Next up, Mellow Mushroom. So this is I think another one. People know that it's a vegan place. I don't know if Mellow Mushrooms are all over the place. I've only really known them since going to the South. Are they everywhere?
That is a good question. I think so, but definitely all over the South.
Okay.
But I think that they've expanded beyond that. The amount of Mellow Mushroom pizza I ate in college was is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, they have one there in Boone.
I had one in Boone, and I mean that was the spot you went for eating out.
Okay.
And a bucket of Dales for $5. So.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice. So I only went to Mellow Mushroom a couple times, like in Hilton Head, and then when we moved to Asheville, they had one there. So that's when I started going more. So anyway, it's a nice, I don't know, family spot. You go, you have some beers, have big pizza. Always a little bit expensive, I think, when we think about it as a family. Just for what you're getting, you're paying a lot for like a vegan pizza. It always ends up being like a $25 pizza once you put one topping on it, and the vegan cheese upcharge, I believe. But anyway, no meat, no dairy, no honey in this crust. They do have that special water crust that comes out brown or whatever, and they act like it's good for you. Who knows? But they say the vegan veg out pizza features red sauce layered with follow your heart cheese plus spinach, green peppers, mushrooms, sweet onions, black olives, and Roma tomatoes. I don't think I've ever gotten the veg out. Maybe I have. We just get regular pizza, but we always have to tell them vegan, because if you don't, you get this Parmesan sprinkle around the outside. So I'm sure if you order the vegan veg out, they don't do that. But if you get any other pizza, make sure you tell them that. It's a bad omission, Veg News. Kat Smith and Tanya Flink. No, I'm not blaming them, because I think it's very possible that Mellow Mushroom has changed their policy, and plus they're just recommending the vegan veg. They're not, or veg out. They're not recommending all the other pizzas.
That's right.
Maybe I'm the one making the mistake. Maybe all the pizzas are not vegan, and
maybe you're spreading some misinformation here.
Maybe. All right, so that's that. And then Mod Pizza. Mod Pizza is to me like same as Blaze. When I go there, expect the same experience. And it largely is the same. I actually really, really like Mod Pizza. I think their stuff is delicious.
I don't think I've ever been to a Mod Pizza.
No, they've got one in North Asheville.
Okay.
If that's where your daughter's school is located.
No, still not in North Asheville.
Okay. All right.
So the rest of basically all the pizza chains are on here, or all the pizza spots and pizza. I used to go there in DC a lot. But what's the most interesting, Brick's wood fired pizza, and what's the most interesting here is they tell you how to eat pizza at all the like really major chains that vegan. So Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Little Caesars, Sapporo. So this is actually kind of a great resource if you're stuck in a small town and all they have is a Pizza Hut, and you know, for how to get a vegan pizza at Pizza Hut.
Yep. Also Domino's. Yeah, I know.
And Domino's.
I would have thought that Pizza Hut would be really hard to do that. I just would have thought, I don't know, somehow the thicker crust, the thing they have, I just thought it wouldn't work that well. But it looks like it all is. You just have to get no cheese. There's no, I don't think there's any vegan cheese there, so that's kind of a bummer.
Right.
And that's what we had to do at Domino's when we did that. Again, I thought Domino's has this spread of the thing around the outside, but they don't mention it in this article. So maybe I'm mistaken, and maybe that doesn't really happen anymore. Maybe they've stopped doing that to make it easy for vegans. Don't really know. Okay.
Yeah,
Any others?
It looks like most of the, so Domino's, Papa John's, Little Caesars, all of them are cheeseless.
Okay. So that's, nothing. I mean, you're not going to get much of a good pizza if you just order no cheese. If you get like a chain pizza and you don't get cheese on it, it's just not going to be very good. And you can certainly get good at certain places, like marinara style pizzas without any cheese. But the chains, it's going to be like the pizza we had that night at the casino, and it's nothing special. It's bread and sauce.
Did you know that Little Caesars used to have vegan pepperoni? They discontinued it.
I had no idea. Is that what it says in this article?
Yeah.
No, I had no idea. That's amazing. I wish that. Yeah. I mean, that would earn my business if I knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Sbarro, Pizzeria Uno. These are not places most of us are even considering going. But I suppose if you ended up at one, good to know that you could find one. There are a lot of bricks wood fired scattered around. I don't know, Asheville, Greenville areas. But I don't know. I've never. All I've done there is maybe get a non-cheese pizza.
Yeah.
No, they have dairy free. Okay. So anyway, I mean, the rule of thumb, it sounds like, is go to your pizza place, ask if they have vegan cheese. If they don't, you don't get cheese at all. And if they do, get it and ask make sure they don't spread a ring of Parmesan around the outside. That seems to be all there is to it. What about the garlic sauce at Papa John's, Doug? Is that vegan? You know that special sauce that they always serve with?
Probably not.
Oh, you have, okay. No, they don't actually mention that. It's in the picture. So I thought maybe they put that in the picture because they want you to know that that's vegan, but it's not open in the picture. So I don't know. I had a friend once who drank one of those sauces on a bet at a poker night. Gross. He had to drink the whole cup of sauce. It really was gross.
Vicky on the comments says, be careful that the sauce doesn't have cheese in it as well. And which is a great point. And a lot of these chains might have sauce or cheese in some of their sauces. So again, this article does tell you which to go for. Usually it's either the marinara or barbecue.
Yeah. Very nice. All right. So thank you, Kat Smith and Tanya Flink, for writing us a useful pizza article. Actually, the most value of this article to me will be knowing that it's there. So that now I can go back and Google it when
Yep.
And when someone else says they might brush their crust with butter, that's another good thing to think about. So maybe when you're ordering vegan pizza, when you're ordering vegan pizza, you don't just say no cheese. You got to say, I want it vegan. And then hopefully they'll have the wherewithal to let you know if it's not, or the decency to let you know.
Yep.
Okay. I have got to go to a short show today. These will probably all be a little bit short for the next couple weeks. Half hour or so time instead of the 45 minutes we've been doing.
Yep.
But anyway, today, like I said, hectic day today. So I'm glad that we got this in at all. I apologize if, I don't know, if we seem just flustered or disorganized or talking fast to get it in. But hopefully things will settle down and we'll be back on normal track by tomorrow. And then we'll take I think we might do Wednesday. I'm not quite sure about that one. But then a little break for Thanksgiving, and we'll be back next week. By then, should be dialed in. No detectable difference in the show, except that it'll be 8:15 a.m. instead of 11. Right. All right. Then that is it. Thank you for joining. Oh, Eddie Rocco 55, first time joining live. So like I said, a little bit of a different show today than we usually do. But and you can check out the old episodes on the podcast. Or if you ever can't make it live, just go check out the Plant-Based Morning Show podcast. And of course, follow this Plant-Based Morning Show Instagram channel, where we also put up the one that I'm on, where we also put up, some random pictures or whatever. I'll put up my Burger King adventures and whatever else we get into here. And the recordings go up immediately on there too. So please check that out. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy your day.
Have a great day of soccer, Matt.
I will. Thank you. Appreciate it.